Hello everyone, welcome to Red9SysTech. Today we are going to look at what is anonymous inner class in Java. So in our previous video we have seen about what are nested classes, what are static nested classes, and what are the different types of non-static nested classes. And this is one of the type of non-static nested classes, which is anonymous inner class. So the definition says that it is an inner class without a name. So if I have a class inside another class and the inner class we don't have a name, then I can call it as anonymous inner class. Basically, the anonymous inner class will have only a single object is getting created for it. So basically, I want to explain this with a simple example as I'm showing in our Eclipse. So let's say I have a class called student which has like int roll number and there is a method called void display, and I have a main class which is a demo class. Inside that I have a main method wherein I'm going to create an object for the student class s1. S1 is equal to new student of. So basically the way how I have to create an object is nothing but student s1 is equal to new student of then semicolon. But in case of anonymous class, what I can do is instead of completing that semicolon the constructor, so what I can do, I can extend this particular constructor type into this kind of a block. So basically what I'm doing is here I'm going to override the methods which are defined in this particular object in the class. Okay, so if you guys see here new student of, then again open parenthesis, open curly brace, close curly brace, semicolon. Within that I can able to write the method which is already exist over here, but I can able to override here. If you guys see here, the student class has a method called void display of, right? But here I want to override this particular method void display of, but with the help of this anonymous inner class, and then I am going to call s1 dot display of. So what it is actually going to do, so it is not going to call this particular display, instead it is going to call this overwritten method display of. Let me go and execute it. See, displaying student. So basically this overwritten method here is having the message called displaying student, but here it is not having any system.out.println statement. So what it is happening is when we execute this one, so this object is having this particular method overwritten. So this is one of the way of overriding the class without extending a class, right? So typically where we will be using this anonymous inner class, I would say there are two examples I can say, in a thread class and also in runnable interface. So basically we can use it in both interface and in thread class, but there should be one method like this where it doesn't have anything like that. So let me go and write the code for thread and also in runnable. So basically thread and runnable are mainly into multi-threading environment where we have a separate chapters where we have multiple sessions regarding thread, what is a thread, how we can implement thread, and we are going in and out of thread classes. So here I just want to give you an outline of how we can use it in thread. So just don't worry about it, just go through this code and you will understand what I'm trying to do. So basically we can implement multi-threading with the help of either thread class or runnable interface. So the way how we can implement is, so thread t is equal to new thread of, right? So this is the way how we can able to create a thread, right? But here there is a method called within this thread class. If I go here inside this thread class, so there will be a method called run. Okay, so that method we want to override here, but we don't want to extend that particular method to our class. So what we can do is we can simply say like this. Here we can say public void run off. So this is the method, we have it over there, and in this we are just overriding as, let's say, child thread. Okay, and now we have to start the thread, right? So we have to start it like t dot start it. So now the thread will get started. The multi-threads is very separate chapter, so you guys will have to watch those videos to get a better understanding. So the description for the link for the multi-threading environments, the videos are shown in the top right hand side corner, so you guys can click on that and you guys can go and watch that as well. So now here I'm just writing it as main thread. Okay, so here if you guys see it, so there is a class called thread in Java which is mainly used for creating a threads, and in this thread there is a method called run. Thread class there is a method called run. So basically that run method inside the thread class doesn't have anything implementation inside, but we are giving the implementation saying that just to print, let's say, child thread, and we are just starting the thread. So t.start internally calls this run method and that is how it is going to work. Let me go and execute it. If you guys see here, so main thread and then child thread and then displaying student. So displaying student is nothing but coming from here. So just ignore the displaying student for now, just concentrating on the thread implementation. So where we are getting this child thread and main thread displayed over here. So here when we call t.start, it is going to internally calls the t dot threads run method, and that run method got overwritten here. This is what we did here. So that is why we are getting child thread here. And similarly we can use runnable interface to achieve the multi-threaded environment. So the way how we can do is runnable r is equal to new runnable of. If you guys see here, so we automatically get this override method. So here also I can say sysout inside runnable run method, and then I have to start this runnable r, right? So the way how I can do is, again I have to create thread t1 is equal to new thread of. For this thread I have to give this runnable object which is r, and once I pass that, then I can start t1 dot start off, and again I can print sysout to see what is the message here. Main thread from runnable interface. Okay, so hope you guys can understand this particular line of code. So this is separate and this is separate. Okay, this is one way of implementing the thread, and this is other way of implementing the thread. So in this video I want to give you guys outline about how the anonymous class works, inner class works. So this is the anonymous inner class where we are overriding the method run, and similarly in runnable also we are overriding this method run. I want to display that. Let me go and execute this program. You guys see main thread, child thread, main thread from runnable interface, inside runnable run method, displaying student. So these two, so this is coming from a thread class, and these two are coming from the runnable interface, and this is coming from the student method here, right? This one. So hope you guys understand this one. So basically the summary of this one is like the anonymous inner class doesn't have any class name, and there will be only one single object will be created for it. And when we want to write anonymous inner class, the syntax will be similar to invoking the constructor, except that we will have a definition inside a block of code. So basically when we define the block of this code, so this is the block of a code which we define inside this constructor invocation. And similarly if you see here, so this is the block of code which we define inside the invocation of a constructor, and this is the block of code which we define inside the constructor invocation. So basically this is the one of the example. So this is example number 1, and this is example number 2, and this is the example number 3. So I want to give you how we can use the anonymous inner class with the help of our own defined classes, and also with the existing multi-threaded environments classes like thread and runnable interface. So hope you guys understand this concept. I will share this source code in the description of the video. Please take it from there and have it in your Eclipse and try to play around in this code. You will have you might have questions regarding this particular video. So when you start writing this code in your Eclipse, you will see how it works. So that will really help you to learn in detail, and all the concepts will be learned when you do in depth when you do the coding in your program in your instance. So if you guys like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel and click the notification button to get new video updates. I will see you in the next video guys. Until then, bye bye.